The 2025 Brown and Brown Northern Ireland Rally Championship has reached the halfway stage. The Eakin brothers Brian James Trailers Stages starts from City of Derry Rugby Club. And there's a strong entry to tackle the Maiden City stages.
7 very challenging stages for the crews, just under 100 starters, 96, 97 starters, which is a great support for the event. So yeah, 3 stages, there's 7 in total, so we've got one done 3 times and then the other 2 are done twice. First stage is probably the fastest one of the whole event, and then the drivers move to 2 nice technical. There's a bit of everything in it for them, so real nice mixture of driving out there for all the competing crews today. You can never guarantee the weather here anyway in this country, but you know, we were very fortunate after, obviously, as you know, we had a prolonged dry spell there for a few weeks. We were lucky enough it rained yesterday, which will help to bring the oil up to the surface a wee bit quicker, so they're not just landing today. So I'd expect it'll be a bit grippier than it would have been yesterday, but still challenging nonetheless.
The Brown and Brown Northern Ireland Rally Championship leaders are Aaron McLaughlin and Darren Curran.
We've got the maximum points in the championship, hoping to come out with maximum points today, but there's a few competitors looking to take that off us. Well, we've Connor Wilson, a friend of ours from Inishowen. He's behind us just on points there, but Derek McGarity has missed the last round, so Derek will be quick on the roads today as well, quicker than me probably. I think we've done this rally every year since just maybe 2016 or 2017. It's the closest rally. It's nearly our local rally, even though we're from Donegal. We're only 35 minutes away from here, so nice wee short sprints, you know, good, and not too much high speed. I wouldn't be too brave and that kind of stuff.
McLaughlin's fellow Carndonna driver Connor Wilson is 9 points behind in the series and is a member of the Maiden City Motor Club.
I do nearly every event because they're always held very close to home. Well, I started in 21 and I started doing full championships in 2022. Northern Ireland was the first one, and I won the junior class in 23. We moved into this Hyundai at the end of last year, and no, look, she's treating us well. She's a good car and I'm enjoying it. We knew yesterday it was going to be wet, so we softened her up a wee bit just to get her to work more on the road and find more grip. Aside from that, I don't get too technical. We'll just get in and drive around, see how we get on.
This rally series has a real community feel. Joel Eakin from Claudy is son of the rally sponsor.
We acquired this car last year. This is a Subaru Impreza M12B. Our family business. We're Subaru dealers, so it sort of ties in well. So it's further out in the championship and driving this car here now, so looking forward to getting it out for a spin again. So for us, you know, we've always been a real motorsport family. Obviously, we're in the automotive industry, so we've always been sort of real petrol heads. And about 8 years ago, I turned around and said to my dad, "Why don't we go rallying?" And acquired my first rally car then, and have had 3 or 4 cars since then. And I love competing, so I do, you know. So I'm just really competitive, and I love. You know, I just love getting out there, you know, meeting new people, competing, you know. I always reckon Northern Ireland, we've some iconic rally roads, you know, and, you know, we can really pull off some fantastic stages in the island, you know. My co-driver this year is actually a young fella, Graham McAleese. He's actually one of our master technicians in the garage, so he is. So Graham, you know, he's similar sort of age to me, and it's good to have somebody sort of, you know, one beside you, you know, you get along with and similar sort of age. And, you know, this is Graham's third round competing with me, and he's doing a great job, you know, so, and we work well together. My father especially has been involved in Maiden City Motor Club for years, and, you know, we love the sport, and, you know, we look at this as well as giving back something to the sport we love, you know. And with the Brian James Trailers range, we have a lot of customers in, you know, the motorsport world. So it all ties in well, and it's a, you know, it's a great event to sponsor.
And rallying here is often a family affair, with the co-drivers playing a vital role.
Very fortunate I actually grew up in it. My dad would have started co-driving way back in the 80s. So we grew up in a house where rallying was kind of the done thing in our house. So would have followed Dad to all the events, and then I started myself at night navigation trials before moving on to stage rallying. It's definitely multifaceted. There's an awful lot to do basically. As a navigator in the car, you're essentially the office manager, keeping an eye on times all throughout the day and ensuring that your driver is where he should be throughout the day, and then obviously being able to call pace notes on time, and also having a bit of fun with it.
Gary Jennings is a driver in form. He won the Sperrins, a single-venue rally at San Angelo, and has also topped the podium with an Isle of Man victory. He leads after stage 1. He's not the quickest driver though, that's Ryan Caldwell, but he receives a penalty for a jump start and drops to 6th. Michael Boyle produces a fine drive to take 2nd. By stage 2, David Kelly storms into the lead of the rally with the fastest time through Gortree. And from the Northern Ireland Rally Championship registered crews, Niall Devine and co-driver Liam McIntyre make an excellent start. They're ahead of the championship leaders McLaughlin and co-driver Curran. Right down the field in this rally, everyone is enjoying the day, despite the difficult conditions.
First stage was very slippy. Second stage, there was just slippy sections in it, but two great stages, two very good stages in fairness. Obviously it's a BMW M3, it's built by Mats van den Brand in the Netherlands, who would be the main man for building these cars, so he would. So it's 2.3 engine and about 300 horsepower. So it's a very good car. And it's all down to setup really, you know, they're quite good in the wet too, so I've never really got an out-and-out dry rally in it yet, so I'm looking forward to that someday.
It's Opel is going on 400, probably based on the original 400 historic car, although this one's fully modified, same as the current Mark IIs and that, so it's 2.5 Millington engine with Gregor suspension all around, all the toys, paddles, all that, you know, so no, the car handles pretty good, like, and wet tyres on, she goes okay in the wet as well, so no, we're having a good bit of fun out there. This car's actually 12-year-old, so this year was built 12 years ago. I suppose maybe a wee bit like Trigger's Broom, there's plenty of new bits on it over the 12 years, you know. But no, we've had this car 12 years, but we've had a Sconas, we've been rallying a Sconas for years, like, you know, so in the gravel before, we used to do all the tarmac stuff now.
Looking at the weather there, we think it could fool you there because it looks nice and bright there now, but I think by the time we get going at around 3 o'clock again, I think it's going to come back on wet again. So by the time we get out onto the loops, I think we'll be just keeping the same rubber on that we had. And the stages aren't that long. We're not going to boil the rubber off, so just keep what we have on and see how we get on with that. You know, there is a fair bit of pollution out there in places, and there's, you know, there is, I wouldn't say standing water, damp places, you know, where you might be glad of it.
We started in a Mark II Escort and then moved to a wee Citroen, the S3, R3, so that was like a ex-Alistair McRae Junior car, and then we just wanted to try four-wheel drive, and to be honest, it's just heartbreaking how much money we spend to keep something like this going. But you know, I got into rallying many years ago. The guy across the road, Ian Bishop, massive guy, working for Colin McRae, rallying himself, but working for all the world guys, and McGarity and different ones here, so we were always around rally cars, and I always wanted to do it. Just, I've got quite old in life to start. I only started about 6-7 years ago, so it would have been nice to start younger, but we're still enjoying it.
Back to the main rally, and there's now another contender in the mix, as Desi Henry has a maiden stage victory. Kelly still leads from Jennings. But then more drama as Caldwell has his earlier penalty removed. He's back to third. And then goes 5 seconds quickest on the next stage to fly into the rally lead. This really is a wonderful rally, just 20 seconds separating the top 5 drivers. And on stage 5, Michael Boyle now goes fastest. Jennings is still pushing hard, and with one stage to go, is now just 2 seconds behind the leader Caldwell. Kelly is third, but Boyle, after that great stage win, is only a second or so adrift. On the final stage, another dominant display by Ryan Caldwell hands him and Stephen O'Brien the victory. Jennings is second, and Kelly holds on to complete the podium.
Stages were brilliant. Hey, the first stage there out over the mountain was very, very good. Slippy at the start of the day, so it was, and then it dried up at the end there. But we had a wet tyre on then, so we were just hoping they would have kept up, you know. But no, we're definitely happy the way it ended up. Hey, it was a perfect day, all in all. The car run well all day. Hey, so it is. This is a new Skoda for us. This is only our third rally in the car, so we're happy with it. Hey, just getting the grips of the car and getting used to everything. There's a lot of learning in that car, so we're happy the way it's going so far. Hats off to the team. Hey, they're always a brilliant team so there, and they do anything we need done, so they always look after us.
In the Brown & Brown Northern Ireland Rally Championship, Niall Devine finished out in front. But it's Aaron McLaughlin who holds a 10-point advantage with 2 maximum scores at Bishop's Court and the Tour of the Sperrins. Connor Wilson remains McLaughlin's biggest threat. With the 2-wheel drive category headed up by Joe Hegarty. Jay Nevin sits just 2 points shy. With both Paul McKenna and Adrian Grant very much within the hunt too. And Joel Eakin completed the rally coming third in Class 2. A great drive by the young local lad in the Subaru Impreza. The Eakin brothers Brian James Trailer Stages Rally really has been a successful event.
Eakin Brothers as a sponsor of the rally, we've been sponsoring for quite a number of years now, but our involvement sponsoring Maiden City Motor Club probably stems back 50 years. So it's a long relationship with the club. So today there's probably, none of these events will happen. You have your officials that are here on the ground, but at the end of the day, without the marshals standing out in the rain this morning and timekeepers and rescue units and everything else, you're talking there's probably over 150 people out today on the stages. There's a small group of maybe 8 or 10 people on control making it all happen. But overall, I say there's a lot of people involved. It takes a lot of people, and a lot of people turn up and giving their time free on the day, which as a club we very much appreciate. It was challenging after the last probably 7, 8 weeks of good weather, and then this was dumped on us this week, and we were out in the stage there. I was driving through them, and there's parts of the stage was bone dry. And then you were just around the corner and it was pouring rain and the ground was flooded. But overall, it was good and everybody knew the conditions that it was going to be. And much and all as we'd love the sun, we just had to deal with what we had. But again, marshals and timekeepers stand out in the rain. They're not appreciating enough, I think, a lot of times. And without them, we couldn't have rallies.
We'll see you the next time at the Loughgall Stages Rally in July.